Hey, everyone. It is Jen Hall here. I am so happy to be talking to each and every one of you this evening. I am very excited about what I'm up to, and I have a lot of really cool, exciting news to share. I'm just really excited. First off, it is August and it is my birthday month. Shout out to my Leos. And I'm super excited to be turning 50, which I don't even feel like I'm in my 30s still. So many things to share with everyone tonight. I'm going to keep it kind of short, but one of the things I'm going to just lead off with is if you're watching this, thank you. If this is the first time that you have engaged with me or watched one of my videos, please let me know. Say I'm first timer in the comments. And if you are watching me for more than the first time, then welcome back. I'm so happy that you're here and back to see and listen and what I'm up to because I have some really big news. I'm going to be like revealing throughout the month of August to do with the horses and opportunities to come and be here and some really good stuff. So I'm not quite ready to open up the chocolate factory just yet, but I wanted to talk a little bit about kind of what was in the description and talking about things like body image. It's so interesting because it's summer here, and I usually lose a bunch of weight in the summertime, and then I put it on the winter, kind of like a bear. But I didn't the last couple of years, so I'm like, wait a minute, what's happening here? And I've been going through, and I'm working with a dear friend of mine. She's incredible with her wisdom, what she's able to pull top of mind, and really putting some things into place. I'm going to give a big shout out to Amy and understanding that the psychology behind trying to get the mindset behind it is you can't hate yourself skinny. And I was thinking about this with like everything I do with the horses and understanding self. And really, one of the big things that comes up for me around this topic is really knowing who you are. Yeah, and because when you know who you are, you don't have the level of fear that you generally would if you didn't know who you were. Because you second guess, you question your ideas, you question everything, you question your decisions. Have you ever, made a decision and then immediately like, oh crap, why the heck did I just do that? Right. And if you're doing that to yourself, what's happening is that you're lowering your vibration. And I actually had a really great conversation with a friend of mine earlier today who's, kind of going through a certain struggle. And I said, listen, because I'm celebrating something huge today, so I was really vibing high. And she was like, wow, there's not very many times in my life that I can remember feeling like that. And so I said, but there are those times. And so when you're thinking about putting, and this is really simple. I mean, Tony Robbins talks about putting yourself in a peak state, but this is something a little different. This isn't just like, jumping up and down and rah, rah, and like getting, psyching yourself out, especially like if you've been watching any of the Olympics, like those guys, they're just not pumping themselves up. They are putting themselves in a deep psychological state. And obviously, Simone Biles has been, the highlight of the Olympics, but, rewind 4 years when she was in Tokyo, she could not get there. And they were, if you haven't watched her documentary, they call it the twisties in gymnastics. And like where you get sort of, you know, kind of like a writer's block for athletes, if you will, and to really put yourself into this space. And when I'm thinking about, like, they say, well, just love your body. And I'm like, well, I don't love my body. I don't like the way, I don't like this over here. I don't like that over there. I don't like this, whatever that is, So you're like, well, what can you um and do? And what I'm thinking about is like, how do you define that? How do you define loving your body? And now trust me when I say, if you have a situation where you've had like a life or death experience, anyone here ever have a near death, or life threatening experience? I have. And it put some perspective on some things, so and this is just my interpretation. And if you guys are like, hey man, I get it. If this is resonating with you, drop a comment, because we're going to talk a lot about this kind of stuff next week in my self-discovery challenge. So I'm going to put a link in the comments where you are where you can go and join us for the self-discovery challenge that's coming up. It's all over my social media. But the whole point that I bring this up is that you can't hate yourself thin. You can't put yourself in a position where you are beating on yourself, because if you are, you're lowering your vibration. You're lowering the way you're feeling. Because let's face it, when you're grumpy or you're feeling bad or you're sad or angry or whatever, are you going to be making really good, well thought out decisions that for your highest and best? I mean, that's really, obvious answer. I'll take dumb questions for 200, Alex. But it's important to understand that, because we don't seem to think about that. It's like, oh, I shouldn't have had that glass of wine or that piece of cake, or whatever it is that you shouldn't have done. When you do that to yourself the next day, you like, oh my God, okay, I've done it a gajillion times. I'm like, oh my God, I hope I didn't say anything stupid at the party last night, which I probably did. But I'm always saying stupid stuff. So for me, it's like no big deal. But most of us go through that. And it took me years to realize that having the love for your body is more about what your body can provide for you right now. I can still stand up. I can still throw a football, like, because I throw footballs all the time. That didn't make no sense. But my point is, like, that doesn't mean I like the way it looks. That doesn't mean I like the way the shape it's in. That doesn't mean that I want to stay where I am. What I love is that I have this body that I have the opportunity to make better. I have this body that I can treat. How good can I be to my body today? And falling in love with your body isn't about looking in the mirror and going, oh, what the heck is that? It's looking in the mirror and going, what can I do for you today? Because love and relationship, whether it's be with self or whether it's with another person, love is like that. Deep love is you come to give. You go to a relationship to give. And if you're in a relationship with your body, what kind of relationship do you want to have? Would you want, like, your significant other or someone that professes to love you to show up as? And so if you are loving your body, it may not be that you love the flab and, oh, I love my car. It may not even be that. It may just be, I am in love with this vessel that moves my spirit around this planet to the best of my ability. And how can I show my body love today? How can I pour into my body things that are going to make it feel good and sexy and alive? And that doesn't mean getting nice shoes or buying a nice dress, although who doesn't like a nice, fabulous pair of shoes? Mine would be like probably like riding boots. But anyway, so much, but it's more about, what kind of relationship do you want to have with your body? Do you want to have the kind of relationship that you deprive it of certain things that it enjoys? Do you want to have the kind of relationship that you just overindulge in certain things that you enjoy till you feel like crap the next day? Or do you want to have the kind of relationship that when you look at your body, you go, all right, what can I do? How can I serve you today, my beautiful vessel that carries me from point A to point B and puts me in my car and gets me out of my car and puts me to bed every night and beats a heart that beats over 100,000 times a day. How can my spirit serve you today? And maybe it is like, it's clean eating August. Apparently, I've just been informed it's clean eating August, and great. I'm in, man. 31 days, bring it. I eat pretty darn clean anyway. However, I had a lollipop yesterday, and just straight up, probably some red dye number 40 and some high fructose corn syrup. About Tootsie Pops, I have a thing for Tootsie Pops. I love them. I don't have them a lot, but I love them. So I have one. Who cares? But you got to ask yourself, is this going to be something that shows my body love? And not just the taste buds, right? But the whole package. If you look at every single part of your body, you go, if this was a committee, would everybody be voting unanimously to do whatever it is we're doing? Meaning getting good rest, like if I were to say there were three things, three things, you guys, I'm going to drop some gold right now because this is so important. Three things that you could do to show your body love. It would be breath work and meditation. I'm going to put those two into one there. Quality sleep and clean eating. Quality sleep and clean eating. And I have to add, like, diet and exercise. We say those two words together, like, they're the bane of our existence. But I don't even like the word exercise, because like when I give people things to do with their horses, if you want, if you were to come for a retreat, I would give you things to do with the horses, but I look at them like games, so I want to play games. I don't want to go, and whatever floats your boat. Like I like to lift weights, although you can't tell one of these are, but I do enjoy like lifting weights and getting out. I like to roll around in the dirt, man. I like to get out there and sweat and get and dig in and build something or grow something or do something productive and play with the horses or go for a run with the horses. And I enjoy lifting weights and doing Spartan races. Obviously, just get me outside, right? But if you ever see me in a Zumba class, I must have lost the bet of the century. Like, you ain't ever going to see me in some jumpy, skippy, hoppity doppity fling, not for me. But you know what? They could be your thing. Zumba is like incredibly popular. I mean, so it might be your thing. And if it is, then do it. But so that would be really the four things I would say. So if you're just joining me on this live, we're talking about loving yourself to a better health, like loving yourself to a thinner body, a better, stronger, healthier, more vibrant person. And, it really is meditation and breathing, getting yourself, getting your mind right, getting quality sleep, getting really asking your body and really listening and getting knowledge. Like, I'm going to tell you something. I've been working with Amy, and not like directly as a client, because she's going to be actually she's part of my Zen club, and she's this incredible woman that, man, I was asking questions, and I'm pretty knowledgeable when it comes to nutrition. I know, eat this, not that kind of stuff. But she has like some technical knowledge, and like, you ask a question and then you get, she just knows it. And I was like, whoa. Now, if I knew more about that, because I don't know, anybody here like a voracious learner, like gimme knowledge. Like, look at this. Look at this. These are like right here. These are my books. Like, I'm reading all the time, which if you haven't read this one, it's a great one. I even got my copy autographed. So I'm always feeding my mind. And that's where it is really about that. And Amy really just poured into that for me in a way that said, all right, how am I treating my body? And what I love about what she was saying is, like, if I want to have a thing of chicken nuggets, I go have a thing of chicken nuggets. But the thing is that you just have to, and it's not just about intuitive eating. It's really about having the knowledge and the information about what does and doesn't work. Did you know, what was he saying? That when you combine black pepper with your consumption of turmeric, it like 300 times amplifies, and I don't know the numbers, but it makes it better. Like, it makes it more absorbable into your system. And I'm like, oh my God, I never thought about like different combinations of food creating like a catalyst inside my system, but it makes sense. You know what I mean? So thinking about, just like, now I'm done, man. It's over. I want to know everything there is to know. So I went and I found the smartest person I knew about nutrition, and that's who I'm talking to. Right. So that's the kind of stuff I would encourage you to do. And just thinking about, like, how do you love your body? How do you love yourself? How do you love your mistakes? How do you love you, even though you are the person that did the worst thing you've ever done? Say that 3 times fast. Say that. Like, would you love the person that's done the worst thing that you've ever done? And really just being okay with that and getting settled. And one of the best ways I know to do that is to come to one of my retreats. No, just kidding. But to know yourself, love yourself, And be yourself and believe in yourself, because I'll tell you, one of the things that really opened up the door for me was that when I'm around the horses, I can be myself. I can be myself. And I've spent the last 20 years diving in. I have amassed an incredible library of educational tools, and from some of the best horse trainers and natural horsemanship instructors in the world. I've spent 10 years as a professional, certified natural horsemanship instructor. I've spent so much time and effort and energy learning about horses. I mean, you know those posts where they say, "What can you talk about for 30 minutes?" I could talk for 30 hours about the horses and never talk about the same thing twice, and only probably talk about, what do they say, I've forgotten more than what most people know. And I'm not saying that to be like, oh, I'm great, but I've done the work. I've dove in. But you know how I learned best? I learned through love and fun and games and play and joy. How much better are you going to learn if you are feeling joyful and creative? How much better are you going to treat yourself and the people you're around when you're in a good mood? You're going to be snapping at people. And the best way to do that is to go into those four things I just I touched on earlier. And I'll say them again. Meditation, mindset, and breathing, getting yourself straight, getting your energy straight, right? Then putting quality foods, nutrition, loving your body. Like, what can I do for you? I love you so much, my body. What can I do for you today? Ooh, pizza. Okay, today it's pizza. But tomorrow it's salad, or today it's salad and tomorrow it's pizza. But love your body like you would love something, like 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 it's the most important thing in the world to you, because hello, without your body there's nothing, right? And without energy, there's nothing. And the higher vibration your energy can be, coming from joy, coming from gratitude, coming from creativity, coming from a space of love and happiness, like, you're going to make better decisions. You're going to make better life choices overall. You're going to make better nutrition decisions, and you're going to feel better. And guess what? Momentum. Chicka, 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 choo. I think I can. I think I can. I think I can. You start getting momentum, and you don't want to go back to feeling that crappy way. And then when you do feel that crappy way, it's like, ooh, ouch, hot stove. Nah, back over here. Like, I probably won't have another lollipop for 6 months. I buy the whole damn bag and I end up throwing well, Halloween's coming up, apparently, because you can buy Halloween stuff at Lowe's already in July. All that to say, guys, once you do that and you find a way that you can joyfully and playfully and energetically and happily move your body, that you can force it for a period of time, but and I will say this: commit to 6 months. 6 months of doing whatever the same thing is. If it's going to be weights, commit to it 6 months, because they see there's some studies that have shown that if you can exercise for 6 months in a row at a time, it will become that ingrained habit that even if you leave for a period of time, you will want to get back to. And that's kind of where I am. I stepped away. COVID. I mean, come on, who didn't put on the COVID-19, right? I mean, we all kind of, like, that was a tough time for the globe. So, just kind of being gentle with yourself and saying, how can I love you even more right now? How can I love you even more right now? And you start listening to your body. And then guess what? That mind-body connection, you get it closer. You get closer. The relationship becomes more intimate. You get to know each other better. And when your body knows your brain and your brain knows your body, that coherence starts to happen. You start getting into alignment, and you start pulling yourself out of a high beta brainwave state, and you can pull and drop into alpha states and theta states, to where you can give and receive. Right. And then only go into beta when you have to, only getting into that fight flight when you have to. There's a great book out there, and the title kind of says it all. Zebras don't get ulcers. And it goes into the idea of, well, the zebra knows when the lion's hungry because they're in coherence. They're in a theta state. Horses, believe it or not, are in a theta state all the time, unless they're triggered into fight flight. And then for you horse people out there, for horses that are like extremely domesticated, that's all I'm going to say about that one, and end up with ulcers and other things, it's because of the artificial environment, training, treatment, handling, care for, whatever, has created such a stress for them that they do get ulcers, But that is not natural. That's not the natural state, and neither is it for us. And that's why meditation, breath work, Jessica Brace, if you ever are watching any of my lives, Jessica Brace, she's in Orlando. She does a lot of breath work stuff, and she's good, which is another lot of breath work people out there, and a lot of simple things you can do. If you know who Wim Hof is, we actually talk about him in my Zen club. He does the Iceman. He does like this deep breathing exercise. So you think about where is your energy coming from? Getting the breath, then feeding the body, then moving the body, right? And making sure you're getting quality sleep. Those four things, man, and all tie into how can I love my body? How can I love my body even more right now? And I think that with that, I'm going to go have a snack because I haven't eaten in a while. And I will see you guys. I will be on every day for the entire month of August. I'll see you on the calls. I'll be on live on all of my platforms. Make sure you're subscribing to my YouTube channel. I got a lot of cool videos coming out on that, instructional stuff with horses, how to leave your lever kind of stuff for the women, and some really great opportunities to come out here. Who would love, raise your hand if you would love to come play with horses with me, because I would love nothing more than to have you. So thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.